Welcome to the Rise Academy. You probably have a lot of questions in regards to who I am and what the Rise Academy is about, your place in it, and how we're going to achieve what we are going to achieve. So I wanted to make this video to explain a little bit more about who I am. My name is Dallas Kershane. I'm an Ojibwe Treaty 1 leader, and I've been speaking for my people for about over half my life now. Ever since I was 16 is where it all began. My English teacher assigned us an assignment where we had to describe what we thought about the treatment of Indigenous peoples by Canada. I wrote a scathing essay, and when she asked me to see her after class, I was prepared to give her an earful. To my surprise, she commended me for what I wrote, telling me it was not only very excellent, but that I should continue to speak up for my people. That was a profound moment for me. I began speaking up for my people in the same way. I attended the Youth Parliament of Manitoba a year or two later, and it was there that my maiden speech was regarding the systemic racism that my people were facing in Canada. And again, talking about how the politicians that they hold in such high regard today are the same ones that set the orders to have my people's ways of life destroyed, to have our people abused, murdered, and tortured, so that we can all live in what's deemed one of the greatest nations on earth. It was that fiery, passionate speech that received a standing ovation and made me realize my ability to speak truth to power, to not water down the message, and to actually garner the support of my peers and Canadian society. It was then I decided to be that change, to create a way for Canadians to understand our experiences in a way that creates peace, unity, and cooperation as opposed to what has been going on up until this point. For many years, I tried to bring proven solutions such as the 98% successful method of reforming criminals, addicts, and even serial murderers employed by the Delancey Street Foundation for over 50 years. To my dismay, Indigenous leaders, by and large, the majority of them, ignored me, and Indigenous youth offering proven solutions to most pressing issues facing and plaguing all of our communities today. It was then I decided to reach society. That perhaps if I could educate society and teach them the truth about Indigenous peoples, that they would no longer treat us the way we are treated systemically and individually in society. It was then I decided to educate society, to prove them wrong about us, but also to make them our allies in the fight for equity and justice. In 2010, my brother Eric Daniels was shot and killed by the police, and I came forward publicly to forgive the police. It was my forgiveness that garnered the hatred of my own people, which I expected. I knew what I was doing. I was going to break the cycle once and for all. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can. People that were previously hard-hearted towards our Indigenous everywhere, they have come forward and told me that my forgiveness broke through to them. The narrative wasn't about how a native was shot and killed by Winnipeg police. The narrative was how addiction ruins lives, and how we all must address these issues in society. Now, I've received death threats from my own people and was hunted across Canada for many years. I've had many attempts on my life by my own people. They all let me go after I explained them my plans to do what I'm doing now. I've made many attempts to achieve what we are going to achieve with the Rise Academy 2.0 today in various other forms, such as the We Are the Change Foundation, which was designed to address the houselessness issue in Canada and provide a system that we actually provide housing first initiatives to the society's often most ignored segment of society. Addiction and poverty often poverty, addiction and houselessness. What is caused by is a lack of connection to society. Right to its core, that is why it exists and why it's going to continue to exist unless we do something. Now, what motivates me is the fact that my cousin Jeremy Peters was beaten to death in police custody just last year. Two women from my community are in the Brady landfill, and the police of Winnipeg refuse to search for them. I can no longer sit back and let my people suffer in the way we do when it does not have to be that way anymore. So I decided to create the Rise Up Initiative in December of 2022 and have since then began to employing and reimagining all of the initiatives that I have engaged in so far, using the wisdom that I've garnered from those failures and the successes I've obtained over the years. And through that, I've ascertained that the Rise Academy 2.0 and later Rise Academy 3.0 is exactly what's needed to create lasting social change that will directly address systemic racism and intergenerational trauma and abuse within Indigenous communities. Our plan is to provide these solutions to get not only our communities in a position where we have resources and the ability to heal and provide guidance and mentoring and support, but also to provide this same opportunity and the same ability, not just providing the knowledge that people need globally, but providing the assistance, the guidance, and the network that they will need in order to enact actual proven solutions within whatever community they are in. And this is not only just for Indigenous communities, but all marginalized peoples and communities across the planet. With the Rise Academy 3.0, we are going to enact many initiatives, such as housing first initiatives, online healing programs for Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples, but other larger scale things and plans that once our network grows and expands to that point, we will be able to achieve. So now, what about your part in all this? How do you fit in this grand scheme, this entire vision that we have for the future? And I'm glad I asked. Basically, the Rise Academy 2.0 is going to be curated by various experts, both non-Indigenous and Indigenous, in various fields such as psychology, personal development, Indigenous sovereignty, anti-racism, and decolonization. And the AI tutor that we have will be basically trained and finely tuned on that data set that will be accumulating on the Rise Academy platform. So basically, this AI will be able to take a newcomer to the Rise Academy, be able to ascertain their level of understanding, and be able to sift through the mountains of data that will exist on the Rise Academy, and be able to provide them a custom tailored lesson plan based on these modules that will effectively build on one foundational understanding to another that is custom tailored to each person, so that it decreases the likelihood of that individual rejecting the knowledge because they lack the various other fundamental understandings that enable them to grasp the more advanced concepts of, say, white supremacy culture, white privilege, and white fragility, for example. The Foundational Academy modules are designed to prime newcomers to absorbing the information that will be presented on the Rise Academy platform, i.e., the information that you will be presenting. So I invite you to present the best of the best, what you feel you are here to teach and to imbue on future generations. Because this system is going to continue long into the future. Our plans with the Rise Academy is not only just to be an educational institution, but to be an activation institution where we are able to empower and equip individuals worldwide with not only the education and knowledge, but the resources and the network connections that they need to enact real solutions based on proven factors of social change. Now we can achieve this, and we are. There's many people as far as Finland coming forward to help with the Rise Academy to create an educational system that is truly decolonized and truly equitable, providing emancipation for everyone across the planet. That is ultimately the vision for the Rise Academy 3.0. But how much you are involved and your level of commitment to this vision, ultimately, you can simply just want to present on it. You can have one course, one module that will direct you others to your resources and more of the services that you provide. But ultimately, if you want to have a more in-depth development and guidance over the direction of this initiative, then I highly encourage you to share your thoughts and ideas for the future. Let's imagine that we are going to create the future of education. Let's imagine that we can create anything we want, that we can create systems that truly benefit everyone, and that through simple virtue of the expediency of the ideas that we're presenting, the efficiency, and the sound logic that underpins them all, it would garner that support from society, massive support, the critical mass support that is required for all social change. You can go through several of my articles that detail many of these proven methods of social change that, if we begin to employ with the Rise Academy, we will be able to actually create something that will leave a legacy for future generations. We only got one chance at this, folks. We're not going to get another chance 5, 10 years from now. The world is rapidly changing, especially with the advent of AI. We need to decolonize AI in education. We need to emancipate everyone from not only mental but physical slavery. And we only could do this together. So I want to thank you for your interest in the Rise Academy and for responding to that call, because I believe that many were waiting for this call. Welcome aboard to the Rise Academy. I can't wait to get started to develop the future together with you and with everyone else.